Starting, it's finally here, man. Let's go ahead and just do it as we hop into the game and introduce player number 1. Spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map is the blue Terran player. His name is Divine.
Yep, and his opponent, kind of curious about the new macro mechanics. Maybe a oops for him not preparing earlier, but top right-hand corner, the gold Protoss player, TitanS. Got chrono boosted. Whoa.
I don't think it's back. We have, as the stream visibly sees, chrono boost on the Nexus. It's back. I have it.
Like now TitanS got a little bit of conflict in his heart. He's like, wait, is this guy mind gaming? Like, does he actually care about me? What's going on here, Fear Dragon? Like, this is in depth, but this will be a PvT. I don't know if you speak for the Protoss or the Terran in this matchup, but we will see a double gateway out of Titan. Is it TitanS or TitanS?
I've just been saying Titans. Titans.
I'm cool with Titans.
Plural.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is we see a double Rax into a double gateway, which, as Protoss and PvT, I haven't actually seen that much of. I've seen gateway, cyber gateway, but man, this is next level. This is real next level. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah, very interested to see how this pans out as the double gateway is going to allow for like some really heavy early zealot production. Oh, we got a little bit of lag going on. Looks like it's one of the players, Divine. Oh no, so unfortunate. But does somehow manage to stabilize. Of course, there is only one server for Legacy of the Void, so sometimes, especially with some of these Southeast Asia qualifiers, there is bound to be a little bit of lag. But as you were saying, like, you know, double gateway, a little bit less orthodox, but he does still have the gas geyser and is still going to be getting up to cybernetic core. I really wonder what this is for, right? Because warp gate, not quite as useful as it once was. Still going to be very important to get at some point.
I mean, I'd actually argue that it's even more useful because of the 2-second warp-in is so quick than previously. Yes, you can't proxy a pylon.
Oh, yeah.
I think it may be actually more useful, though, warp gate, than it was before, quite honestly, in Legacy of the Void. Well, we'll have to see, though. We'll see how that really pans out. For now, though, TitanS, I like the 2-gate start. Maybe... Like, think of it this way, though. Gateway and Cybernetics Core are both 150 minerals, so it's like, did he think there was proxy racks? Is that kind of a clever way to defend it? But TitanS actually really coolly takes a kind of behind the whatever you want to call that base right there.
Yeah, it takes the hidden sort of like safer expansion to take in the situation. Divine gonna be throwing down his own command center a little bit on the later side in comparison to his Protoss counterpart, but also has a bunker position. Very, very defensively. Both of these players, just everything about what you're saying. It's like you were saying, maybe trying to prepare a little bit against some kind of crazy proxy 2-rack shenaniganry. Both of them just playing really safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of weirdly safe, too. There's a lot of different variations that they're just standard. They're not safe, but they didn't actually go for that currently in Legacy of the Void. Now, I wonder if the banter at the beginning was banter, or truly maybe TitanS has, like, not played in a couple weeks. And it was like, oh, cool, Legacy of the Void Malaysian qualifier. Let's represent the country. But, you know, we'll have to see how that really pans out. Twilight Council for TitanS. We got a couple options. Yes, we have Blink, but we also have that Adept Shield upgrade, which it's going to be Charge, the third option. But Charge was recently nerfed. Actually, no, there's no C server. For a second, I was going to say maybe the updates haven't got there, but
nope,
Charge recently nerfed.
Yeah. Yep. Reduced down from like 30 damage whenever you actually attack with the Charge to 8.
Automatically killing drones. Like it was intense.
Yeah. One-shotting workers. It was a pretty big deal. But Adepts have been a very, very strong choice for a lot of Protoss players in the most recent couple of patches. And we could still be seeing the Adepts, but no, we're seeing a lot of Stalkers being made, which is really strange because it's in contrast to Charge being researched, right? It's not at all what you would expect.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking through this right here. So maybe it's the type of thing where Stalkers cost a lot of minerals, but bear with me. Maybe it's like Archon Zealot is in okay. My Stalkers, why not just make Adepts then? I feel like they may be a little bit better than it and really scale well versus Terran. I'm not sure. It is a little wonky. DT Shrine coming out of TitanS though. Definitely. I mean,
this is something I can always get behind.
Yeah, yeah, definitely okay. I can tell what he's gonna do here. If TitanS doesn't make DTs, then I'm gonna be like, what?
Go for the
now,
Dark
though,
Shrine and just start making zealots. Just why did you even make a cyber core?
Zealots, yeah.
Doesn't
just
even turn them into warp
bases.
gates. Yeah, no, it's
yeah, definitely
gonna be a really big zealot stalker attack, and I mean these zealots are going to have charge, but he doesn't exactly have a proxy bomb. The proxy bomb, it's still helpful to have. It's still a shorter distance than walking all the way across the map. But finally, the probe is going to get there. A single Marine may scout this out. But here's the thing about Orbital Commands and Dark Templar right now, Drenok. It's the fact that you really don't have that much energy for scans, and scans now cost 100 energy. So that means that every scan is going to be incredibly valuable. If you even have to deal with 3 Dark Templar at separate points in time, then you need 3 scans. There's almost no way that Divine is actually going to have 3 scans readily and easily available.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting issue for Terrans to deal with. Now, Chrono Boost, or sorry, not Chrono Boost, what am I saying? Mule does not cost energy, but you also have you have the option to use the extra supplies if you want to. So I have seen some players doing that, and I've seen some players actually unhotkey extra supplies because they need the scan, they know they need the scan and want to use that. For now, though, DTs still have not engaged into Divine, and we're seeing Liberators come out of him, which I haven't seen that much in PvT, but it's going to be hard to deal with, especially with no blink. Yeah, they are definitely scary. They two-shot Stalkers.
Yeah, the Liberators especially, I think one of the big problems that a lot of Protoss players have been dealing with in regards to Liberators is just the fact that if you don't go for that kind of earlier Stargate, there's a lot of dead airspace on a lot of maps, including Moonlight Madness, where Liberators can start harassing the worker lines, and there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah, definitely. It is a very dicey situation to deal with, and honestly, once this Liberator's down, I don't know how much TitanS can actually push into this, but the DT's actually starting to get a decent amount of damage done. Yeah. So far, they've got 20 kills.
Oh my god.
In the main.
This is a pretty effective.
These DTs, right now. I don't care if you didn't get Blink, Fear Dragon. These DTs, man.
They're doing
they will get the tech lab.
Yeah, they get one of the tech labs. They're going to continue to run around, and I don't know where Divine thinks he's going. He's going to waste a scan, and just absolutely 0 damage done to these DTs. Guess how many scans there are left? There's not actually one. There's not one for another 10 seconds, or at least 10 energy needed for the next scan, and he needs to nail it with that scan, but I don't even know if his army's going to be in position to scan properly.
Yeah. Not only that, but there's only 1 siege tank at the natural base. So easily, TitanS could move in with his kind of hodgepodge zealot stalker force into that base. Only 1 bunker, nothing there.
TitanS scans, but his units aren't there. Again! Oh my god, is TitanS going to have a perfect game? He has not lost a single unit so far this game, Drenok. 0 resources lost.
That is a beauty to the 2,500 at the moment. Divine is lost, and man, income-wise, 42 probes to the 7 SCVs. These DTs, man, just get the early engineering bay. Moral of the story, Divine, in this best of 3, get the early engineering bay.
Oh my god. I honestly think he can just go after the command center at this point and stop any additional scans from going down at this. This is a little bit too crazy. And missile turret's finally going up in the main base, as well as kind of above the natural expansion, but the damage has already been done at this point, right, Drenok?
Yeah, yes, Fear Dragon, the damage has been done, and even though, like, I'm just looking at the scans right now. Oh, is that me lagging? No, I don't think it's me lagging. I'm probably guessing it's Divine, whatever, but with those scans, what?
No, it's Divine.
With those scans, it's just kind of like, I have had some players that say, okay, scans cost too much, 100 energy, maybe 75, not so much, but even with that, is sometimes the situation where your SCVs, they have to have a little prayer fest around that missile turret. They have to all come together and hold that missile turret, or else you lose. It happens in a lot of HOTS, it happens in Legacy of the Void, but...
What?
Oh, no. Where's the army?
This is just signal. I mean, the fact that he has the Raven there.
No, don't lose the DT. Oh, not a perfect game.
Oh, no longer a perfect game, especially with the Raven there to detect, but apparently still not enough because the army is not actually engaging these DTs. The DTs are killing off some of the remaining SCVs. This is just the most painful thing to watch. I'm a Protoss player too. This is painful.
This is the most painful thing to watch. Like I can't actually stress that, guys. It's like, cool, I got the scan. I could do it, guys. Oh, dang it! My army not on the wrong hotkey. Oh, man. Off the back of this, the Protoss player. No upgrades quite yet, but there is charge. Robotics is on the way. And it's 42 workers to 9. Guys, this is the power of the mule. This is Divine saying, Blizzard, nerf the mule, maybe. I don't think there should be a nerf, but I don't know, Fear Dragon.
I think this is Divine saying that he is not super used to playing maybe in a either tournament setting or even just a casted setting. And I feel like this is really just nerves showing, because most players, I think, they don't make the kind of mistakes that Divine is making. I'm sure Divine knows, like, okay, when I have a Raven out, I don't also need to scan the DTs. Normally, if I'm going to go kill TTs, I'm going to make sure my army's there first before I throw down the scans. But I think these are all just mistakes he's making just due to the nerves.
Like, not even joking, my heart's been like each time I've seen those scans, that's what my heart has done. It's kind of clenched up like, no, Drenok, I see your mistake, Drenok, but don't do it. And like, oh no, it's not me, but it still gets at me. We see Divine moving across the map, and it's kind of, you know what I'm a little worried about? TitanS actually does not have that much here.
Yeah, there's
like
I don't know though, but here's the thing, right?
Oh man.
Just a couple of DTs that, I mean, okay, there's gonna be maybe 3 scans available. I don't know if he actually needs to use any scans in his main base because he's got so many missile turrets there now. But I guess the DTs,
well, I mean, there's the Raven though.
Oh no.
There's the Raven, but the Stalkers do not have blink. This is just a situation. That's what we're gonna call it, Fear Dragon.
This is a game, technically.
This is a situation.
Well, engagement's going down. Raven immediately just ends up suiciding in. DT is doing absolutely phenomenal amounts of work. And, you know what? When in doubt, Drenok, just DT. Just keep DT.
Yeah, man, it works.
DT's going ham in the natural expansion, and I think the Divine is going to need some Divine prayers to make a comeback in this game. He's down to 2 workers. Soon to be even less, maybe. I don't even know where his last 2 remaining lucky SCVs are. They are not safe wherever they are.
GG TitanS. Oh man, I can't even stress. My heart was actually a little bit like. I guess that'd be my lungs, but you get the feeling, Fear Dragon. You get the feeling.
Yeah, it's a pretty frustrating situation, I think, for Divine, who I'm sure, again, it's one of those situations where you're probably used to just playing in, your relaxed ladder environment. You're not super stressed out. This is actually a pretty stressful environment. They're competing in a qualifier for a chance.
I'm stressed here, man.
I know, right? And they're competing in a chance to enter a tournament that's going to have $1,000 given away to first place, $250 given away to third and fourth, and $500 to second place. It's a weird order to read those prize money pools out into, but still, like, that's a lot of money. That's $2,000 in money that they're potentially going to be competing for if they manage to qualify here today. So it can be a stressful environment, and you can see players make tons of mistakes they don't normally make. And if Divine wants a chance, he's got to make some really big changes going to the next game.
Yeah, definitely he does, but he left the party, actually. I don't know. Wait, invite. Am I the party leader? How am I the party leader? Somehow I am the party leader. I don't know how that happened, but
well, I believe
Divine left the party.
There should be a best of 3, so he's still in it unless he's trying to forfeit.
I'm gonna make you the party leader.
Oh
no, I'm gonna make Titan. I don't know. Are you online?
I mean, just I'm in the party.
Do
you not see me?
I invited Divine. No.
Okay, yeah.
The party system is kind of wacky at the moment. It does some weird things, so I wasn't sure, but that was a stressful game to watch. Like, I'm not even joking about my heart. Like I could feel it kind of jump. Like whoa, whoa. Calm down, Drenak. But
Uh,
guys, this is the exciting. This is the Malaysian qualifiers.
where anything can happen, and sometimes it
Anything.
will. Sometimes
Like
everything will happen.
what I was really worried about, like what was really kind of nagging at me, was oh crap. Somehow does Divine like A move his Marauder Force and just win?
No,
Like please.
no. Okay, even in the worst case situation, I think that if he ends up winning that fight somehow, there is still DTs that can be warped in one at a time, and eventually I think that Divine ends up just running out of scans. And the Raven also just like ended up getting killed off. So either that or just like repeated warp-ins of Zealots off of a 3-base or almost 4-base economy, I think it was. So the likelihood of that was pretty
I mean,
low.
at that point, literally TitanS was not building units. He was just building probes and kind of like, nah. I'll warp in if I need to. But game one, let's see if Divine can like pull it together, man.
Yeah, he's got a lot to make up for, and you know, maybe going for the early liberators is not a strategy that I really hate. I actually was kind of a fan of that. The problem is he didn't really get to utilize it. If he was able to do something like siege up behind the middle line of his opponent, outside of the range of any of the stalkers, then hey, now you start killing off workers, you start evening it up. Even after like taking all those massive losses to the DTs, you start evening things up a little bit. You force your opponent to make a Stargate and invest a ton of time and resources into doing that. There are things that I feel like he could have done to eventually stabilize, or even just exploiting the fact that we've been seeing TitanS go for this Charge Light or Twilight Council tech with zero detection whatsoever. That's a huge vulnerability to things like Widow Mines. So I'd love to see Divine really trying to exploit some of those things.
Yeah, definitely. That could be a cool possibility. At the moment, it won't allow me to invite Divine into the party. I made our lovely TitanS head out of the party. Maybe he'll be able to do it. Still seeing, still trying to suggest. I'll suggest him again, but yeah.
I mean, alternatively, we could just make the game and then go. And
let's just. I'm gonna leave the party. Let's just make the game.
Yeah.
Oh crap! And he just joined. I don't know.
Oh,
let's make the game.
Yeah, he just got the invite and was joining. But...
yeah, there was a multitude of possibilities for both sides, and it really broke my heart right there. It really broke my heart.
Yeah.
We'll see what game 2 is in this best of 3. I don't know if I can survive a best of 3 in this condition. Like quite honestly, here, Fear Dragon. I don't know.
I mean, they're pretty stressful games in that sense, but you know, I'm kind of rooting for Divine to sort of find his bearings and find his ability to play with kind of Starcraft that I'm sure he normally plays. Not the kind of Starcraft that he seems to be showing right now. Granted, he is up against someone who is a diamond level player in Legacy of the Void, so TitanS
Which is
has some pretty
pretty
good
darn
experience.
close just to being kind of masters like pro player.
Yeah, it's sort of a weird situation where Korea, Europe, North America, all of the different regions are all playing on one server. So getting into Masters or GM is a little bit more difficult than it normally would be, just because those kind of pools for the players fill up a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's when you have someone as rank 1 GM, they are the best player in the world. There's only 200 spots in GM, where previously there was 600-ish spots for GM, maybe even 800, really.
Yeah, and that kind of means it's a little bit more competitive, but that just means that being Diamond for TitanS is just even that little bit more impressive, so pretty interested to see like how far he's going to be making it through the bracket. Looks like we're having some difficulties in actually getting everything set up. Divine saying that he has the wrong setup, but I think that he doesn't. I guess Divine doesn't realize you can just change the settings after we join the game.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, I guess we're in game. There we go. TitanS. Race check.
Yep.
Check. I can't remember what race they were.
Yep.
But
Divine was Terran. TitanS was Protoss. We are solid and ready to get things started. I think once the players give the go-ahead, we are ready to get started into game number 2 as we move on to the map Lariat Crest, not Lariat Quest. Lariat Quest would be a really cool game name, but Lariat Crest going to be game number 2, and it's one of the maps that, you know, if you haven't been watching a lot of Legacy of the Void, might not be quite as familiar with, but we can talk about the features of the map in just a little bit as we go ahead and get into the game. Dranok, predictions, do you think that Divine is going to be able to overcome the amounts of stress that he's feeling and be able to execute the build as he probably wants it to be executed?
It was a funny game because at first I was like, okay, he's bronze versus like a diamond. But his build was pretty well executed. I mean, he got the units out. Like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know, Fear Dragon. That's the closest answer I can give. This is the one case where I'm not even trying to, like, speculate. Like, let's see.
Oh, man.
Who do we have here, Fear, in the bottom right?
In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Terran player, the blue Terran player, who is going to need some divine intervention. It is Divine.
And his opponent, who just does pretty well for himself in general. The yellow Protoss player, TitanS. I think it is TitanS. Now that I think about it, there's not an extra vowel for TitanS. Maybe I'm just thinking Tyrannus, though. I don't know. Let's see how they open up in this game, though. If it's going to be, again, the double gate, which honestly is just... You can do gate, cyber gate. You can do gate, cyber nexus. But the gate is just like... Unless you know your opponent is proxying you, in that case, you still can do gate, cyber gate.
Was the cybernetics core actually late, though? I don't know if I remember seeing it be late.
It was...
I imagine it must have been, right? But...
Well, it was 2 gates, a zealot started, then the cyber was started. No, it was 2
really?
gates, then a cyber, and then a zealot. So actually, it may have only been 1 or 2 seconds late, but not really. It was just a funky build. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Probe actually getting trapped over here, so goodbye to Titan's scouting information on what Divine is up to. But he does see the second barracks once again. Maybe not as concerned as he was in the last game, as he is adding on a couple extra gateways. But honestly, after seeing how passively Divine ended up playing in the early stages of the game last time, I would not be too concerned as Titans seeing the double racks opening once again from Divine.
Yeah, even though it has the potential for a lot of aggression, and to boot, Mule's back, Reaper Fast Expand is very viable. He decided not to do that, and maybe he's just saying, I got a lot of extra minerals, let's throw down some barracks, which looks like what TitanS was doing. He went gateway into the cybernetics core to double gate, but for Divine, his opponent, looks like he'll be doing, not by any means a 1-1-1 build, but getting his factory down, covering his bases, getting his tech up, and actually double gas in the main. 3 in one refinery, 1 in the other. 2, I guess, in the other. This is the build where if they're the pro player, you're like, Gosu. If they're the low player, they're like, why does he have 1 in the refinery? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of a funny situation how that ends up playing out. In this case, I'm not actually sure which one is the case, but Divine, you know what? The more that I'm thinking about it, we have a reactor going down in this factory, which, you know, that's all well and good. I would have loved to have seen Banshees come out. I actually think that, you know, repay back your opponent with what they just dished out at you. Killing you with cloaked units, go ahead and kill him with cloaked units. He's not getting a robotic facility. He's not getting a Stargate in that last game. He's not getting any form of detection whatsoever. I actually think you would have stood a decent chance just winning the game with the Banshees.
Yeah, definitely. And even though Divine didn't get an early scout to see that, I completely agree with you. Banshee would not be that bad at all. Let's see if that's the case, though, because there's 2 reactors on the factory and the racks, no tech lab, nothing like that. Now the 4 stalkers greeting them.
This is awkward. Dranok, are we going to have a perfect game? No, he's already lost a probe. But is he going to lose to 4 stalkers? Because I literally don't see an attacking unit out on the map right now for Divine. He's going to have like 4 Marines, but 4 Marines versus 4 stalkers does not bode well for the Marines.
Like, I wonder if this is a guy who played Swarman, like this is his first Legacy of the Void game, because his builds, like his economy is good, his macro is good. But
yeah,
it's just kind of awkward. We'll see though. 4 stalkers. of TitanS is doing pretty well, getting a Stargate off the back of this and just but we do have the supply drop if Divine needs it. Remember that.
That supply drop might be very crucial, but I think, sort of luckily for Divine, he doesn't actually have that much supply, so I don't think he's going to need it right now. In fact, I think that he's going to be
awkward game.
He's going to be losing more supply than he really knows what to do with. Bunker's going to get canceled. Don't worry, Tech Lab is finishing up on the starport. Maybe he can get out a Banshee, but it won't have Cloak. And these 3 Stalkers can actually just kill a Banshee. GG! The 4 Stalker rush! Winning the game and the series for TitanS. I don't know what to say. Well played.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's really awkward because they played well, but it was kind of like with Divine. He had a build order? I thought he had a build order. It looked good. He had macro. He had the macro, but that's honestly one of the most awkward StarCraft games in a row I've ever seen.
It was very, very awkward, and I think a little bit unfortunate for Divine. Probably didn't get to show the best games that he really wanted to, but unfortunately he's going to drop down to the losers bracket, where he's still in the tournament. TitanS is going to advance on and play versus the winner of Sky versus Claire, and that should be also an interesting match since TitanS has shown an interesting play style. Dark Templar and for Stalker Rush. I don't know if we really got to appreciate the full depth of what TitanS wanted to do in those games, but we saw a portion of it, and the portions that we saw went well.
Yeah, definitely. I just gotta say, I like how this cast started off, honestly, both of us casting for so long, like, we just kind of ran into it. Like, we just threw ourselves at this. But yeah, definitely.